Hey guys, how is it going? Welcome to IGN House Call, with rearing up the coolest peeps here in Southeast Asian gaming industry to find out some cool secrets they may have. But of course, we don't always just do Southeast Asia. But today, we're doing Southeast Asia. We have a really cool person today. We have Riku! Yay! You guys will know her as Riku. Why is it Riku anyways?
Because Riku is taken.
Okay.
Riku is also taken in League of Legends, so I added another Riku, and then yay, my IGN is Riku.
Should have done that. I wanted to do Tash. That's
Tash.
taken. But then I was like, I like bunnies. Okay, Tash bunny.
Tash bunny. No, perfect.
What about Adrian's? Why are you La Dota?
Actually.
Well, La Dota is something. It's Italian. It's Italian. It means the scholar because I'm a big nerd in school. I was.
He still is.
Yeah, I still am. And I the first game I played was Dota, and I figured it sort of sounded alike. So yeah.
Well, now we know. I
Pog.
like how today Adrian also became one of my interviewees. It's exciting days.
Yay.
Riku. So you know that we go really way back, all the way PGF 2017, where
Yes.
we were friends, but then we became friends on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
What happened?
Adding times. Mhm.
Exactly. So the first time I saw you was when you were casting on stage for a League of Legends game back then. You were with Asurai. I remember you're on stage with him.
Yes.
And that was a fun game because I remembered that the first I remembered was, dang, this girl remembers every single item build she has. Like, how do you do that? I don't know.
I guess it's how much I play League of Legends, I guess. So yeah, it came natural.
Okay, so for those at home, not everyone obviously plays League, but a lot of people do play League, probably know you. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Riku. I'm a caster for League of Legends and other esports titles. I also stream on the side. I used to be a voice actress in my local TV anime channels. TV, yes, it was TV. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I do random content from time to time too. So yay, that's me.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
So-
TV. Sorry, I got
Oh.
excited.
Besides casting for LOL, what other games do you cast?
I used to do a lot. I used to do Heroes of the Storm. I did
Wow.
Overwatch. I also did PUBG recently in Thailand. But currently I've been focusing a lot of my time to just really focus on my craft with League of Legends.
Was it like, because I remembered in Southeast Asia there was a time where League of Legends like dipped and there were a lot of stuff going on. Were you still casting actively at a time, or is that the time where you were kind of like moving to other games because of that?
I think it was due to the fact that there was like the pro gaming series, and then I that time I didn't get to cast the PGS, but I got to like get involved still with the Rampage events, the yearly events that League of Legends did for the Philippines.
Thailand, right? No, Rampage was in Philippines.
Philippines, yeah, it was in Philippines. Yeah. But
I think I remember those.
yeah, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. The crowd is amazing. Everybody's just so energized for the yearly event that Garena did for League of Legends. So
I am so jealous because I don't know if you knew this, Adrian, but whenever there is a gaming event in the Philippines, it's always packed, even when there isn't like a huge prize pool, and
Wow.
people are just so supportive. Everyone's just so eager,
So
so
it's
hyped.
all the raw passion just oozing out of the community.
Yep. So my
Exactly.
first time in PGF, it was so cool because no one knew me. No one knew who the heck I was, but everyone was so excited to welcome me, which is why I was
Aw.
so happy to be there. And I was like, I really want to go back to the Philippines and do things because you guys are just so epic. Here, it's a bit more low-key, I guess if you want to say it, compared to Philippines. And you see people more selective with their games, where in the Philippines, I feel like every single game is loved in its own way. That's why I really love when it comes to the gaming scene in Philippines. Okay, so speaking of casting, Riku, how did you end up becoming a caster?
that's a good question. Okay, I was still in college. College, yeah. First year college, second year, I totally
That's
forgot.
really young.
I know. I was still, going to school. Now it feels like it's been a long time. Like now I'm here. Yeah, I used to watch. I really watch a lot of esports. I think it was NAEU back then when they had a different schedule. Like when you wake up in like 7 a.m. in the morning, you'll probably still be able to watch EU and NA. And then I'm like, I want to get a job in like esports or gaming or League of Legends, like anything. Like I want to work there. Yeah. So what I did was I followed a bunch of esports pages, like any of the internet cafe pages, any of the game publishing pages, especially Garena. And it turns out they were looking for casters. I auditioned. I was super scared. I remember my dad went with me to like drop me off the building. Yeah. My parents are super supportive. And then that's it. I got in and then I was super happy and I think it just snowballed from there.
Dang.
Well, speaking of snowballing, I mean, you had your first start in League of Legends and you already built your foundation and sort of mastered your craft in League of Legends. And that's before you branched out into other esports titles. How hard was that transition from casting a LoL game to PUBG? Is it a technical process? What's the learning curve like?
It's honestly very scary. Like example, having to cast a different genre. Like for example, MOBAs to heroes. There are a lot of different things. Like especially for heroes, the maps. But they all have the same foundation. So it wasn't very difficult for me to transition. And it's mainly just playing the game every single day, dropping whatever that. For example, I was so into Overwatch at that time, but I needed to learn about heroes. So I stopped playing Overwatch, and I just really wanted to learn heroes at that time. But for shooters, it's I think more on an application approach. Gotta keep playing for more experience, especially PUBG as a battle royale. There's a lot of chaos going on. But since I used to play a lot of shooters too, so I think it wasn't a very difficult transition for me.
Wow, I'm jealous. I can never for the life of me play shooters. I suck. I can't.
Why not?
Because I don't know, I feel like when you play third person, you feel like you have such a wider, broader view. So when you're playing first person, your view gets smaller. So you kind of feel like you're blind and suddenly your awareness is all gone. I can't. I
understand though. I understand. Especially battle royales in general, they get pretty intense because you don't know where's the shooting coming from. Are they coming from afar?
So speaking of that, like when you cast like battle royales, right? Where do you know where to look at in the map and how do you transition quickly?
That's a good question because I feel like one of my favorite things to do as a caster is concentrate more on player stories, team stories. And I prioritize that first, which I think I'm comfortable at. And then I move towards more of the in-game stuff afterwards. And I feel like, I still believe I've got still a lot to improve on that part. But when it comes to PUBG, it is definitely, it's hand in hand with your co-caster and the observer too, because they're the ones who get to pick which battles are going to be shown. I mean, at least from my experience from casting PUBG back in January.
I see. So that means that you didn't really choose where, but when they move it, you just quickly jump to that. So yes. I guess that's not too bad. So speaking of that, I know that you stream in your free time.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're a variety streamer.
Yes.
Can you tell us what games you like to play?
What games I like to play? I love playing single player story games. Right? It's so fun because one thing I'm worried about are spoilers because there are people there that are trolls out there. But when you get a really, really nice crowd, when you react with them, you cry with them, you laugh with them, I think that's the most amazing feeling.
Exactly.
Right,
and that's exactly why variety streaming is so fun. So speaking of that, right, I have a question. I think this would come for a lot of people who want to stream variety games. So streaming variety games means always it's a slower growth as opposed to just streaming one game. What advice would you give to those who want to start out streaming variety games?
I guess the biggest advice, it can be applied to any sort of streamer when they're starting. I think the numbers is usually what's sort of at the back of your head every time. It's like why is there like no viewers? Why are my viewers not growing? And sometimes it's good to be a variety streamer, because when the game is new, people will be looking for streamers first before they decide to play the game, or maybe they don't have the console. And I think that's the biggest edge, is when you become a variety streamer, you have the latest popular game that people want to watch. So I think that is the good side. It may seem slow because we see Ninja, who just sort of skyrocketed his career when he picked up Fortnite and kept streaming Fortnite. But you never know. There's a lot of variety streamers that either focuses on a certain genre, like maybe he's a JRPG guy, maybe he's I don't know, maybe God of War, Uncharted type of guy. So it will really depend, as long as it's sort of concentrated and you know your identity as a streamer.
All right. So speaking of that, why did you pick up streaming?
Okay, funny story. I wanted to stream because I wanted to show my moves.
Oh my gosh.
I was. But the problem was, I don't think I'm very good when I stream. Like, the streamer's curse, when you win your games offline, but when you stream, you sort of lose most of them. But
there's a reason why, though, because you're trying to focus on chat.
Exactly, right? Like you're focusing on interaction, and it was a learning process for me, and I've accepted the fact that I'm the type of streamer that likes to talk with the viewers, and therefore I like games like Legends of Runeterra because it's pretty chill, or Teamfight Tactics. But if it's MOBA, sometimes I like to stream that so I can play with everybody, most of the people in the chat. But at the end of the day, it is my top priority is chat interaction.
So besides playing games, I understand you do a fair bit of voice acting. How did you get into voice acting, and what are some of the voices that you've played so far?
Yeah, I did a little bit of voice acting for I think 2 to 3 years, but it's on and off and a little bit spread out. I've wanted to become a voice actress ever since I was a child. What I would do is I would mute shows and I would dub over them, and it was for fun. Yeah, I would make my own weird stories about, like, it's a love story, but apparently there's a zombie apocalypse, stuff like that. It's really, really fun.
It's like the version of people watching, and you don't know what they're talking about, but you're narrating over them, but you do it with TV shows.
Yes, but you do it at TV shows. That is exactly it. Oh my gosh. But I got in because I joined a Do You Want to Be a Voice Actor contest in the Philippines.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I joined that, and the prize is a scholarship for like an 8-session of voice acting classes.
Wow.
And then I cannot believe I won. I think I still have a few videos on YouTube about my embarrassing stage performance, but it did win, so yay.
So what voices have you done so far?
I think my favorites at the top of my head is Nene Amano from Digimon Cross Wars and Akatsuki from Log Horizon.
So you did their voices in Tagalog?
Yeah, I did their voices in Tagalog. Yep.
Wow.
What's interesting is that I was a little bit typecasted with like the noisy, high-pitched girls in anime, but eventually as I kept going, I've been given roles to a little bit more like the snobby or the calm and collected girls. I'm like so happy, like I'm not typecasted anymore to like the yeah, pretty much.
I can totally understand that. So why don't you do some voices for us? Do you want to do Japanese or do you want to do in Tagalog?
Oh, dang, I want to do Japanese, but
okay,
I need
do
a line.
it.
Okay, maybe I can introduce myself in Japanese. Okay, let's go. Okay. 自己紹介します。私、リクです。よろしくお願いします。
It's like the cute
Wow.
little schoolgirl. Okay, can you do Snooty?
Snooty. Oh, I don't really care about you. Get out of my face.
Oh my gosh, she's actually so good.
Thank
So
you.
awesome.
Yay.
Can you do an evil one?
Oh, what's an evil? I can probably do an evil laugh. Let's
Can
see
you do
if I
the Ojo laugh?
Oh, the Ojo laugh. I love the Ojo laugh. Okay.
Me
here we go.
too. Okay, that's it.
Fun to do, right?
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. It's so funny.
We're like,
Okay, so you're also into singing as well.
yes, I am. I love singing. I love singing in the shower, and I
Oh
love
my
doing
gosh.
covers in YouTube.
Yes, I saw your YouTube covers. That was so long ago. I think you recently just done one, right?
Did I? I
can't
think I did. Out of a meme.
Yes. That
Yes,
the
it was a
one.
meme. Yeah.
So why don't you, do some for us?
Okay. I wonder what song is good. Like a Japanese song or an English song? Song?
Xiang.
Song? Do I? Okay. Let me see. It's so hard. There's so many songs that I like singing, and now I don't know what to sing. The meme one. Okay. Let's go. 言葉にするばけちゃう関係なら言葉を消せばええやって思ってた恐れてただけどあれなんか違うかも千里の道も一歩から石のような体どの石で血の見つめれば山となで少し抜きで癒し抜きイエーイ Yeah, I like the cute songs because I get to play around and be funny.
Yes, you can. So I don't know if you saw on TikTok, there was this meme going around for the cute, sexy robot voice reaction.
What was it again? I think it was the
It was
Dame
the
song.
Dame.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it was a Dame song.
Dame, na. I don't know that song,
Yeah,
sadly. I
I
just
was
know the
wondering.
tune. Yeah.
I was just wondering if you had done that.
Sadly, no.
Well, you should.
Wait. Now?
Now. Later. Let us know when you do.
On the spot.
That would be crazy because you don't even know.
Yeah,
the song.
exactly. Okay, I will definitely consider TikTok
Yes.
times.
TikTok
let's go.
times. Okay. Adrian, do you have a next question for her?
Oh yeah, let's get back to casting. So
Okay.
currently you're casting PCS,
Yes.
and as you know, you've seen the C region being matched with the LMS.
Yes.
So how is Southeast Asia faring against LMS, and do we even stand a chance?
Huh. I really think we do stand a chance based from the summer performances. I think spring performances rather. I think it's all about that consistency rather, because I feel like the LMS were a little bit caught off guard with the brawl style that SEA teams has.
What's a brawl style?
Fight. That's the brawl style. Like fight nonstop. That's basically early game, fight. Ganks, kills to objectives sort of thing. But for the LMS, I feel like they were caught off guard by the SEA play style, but eventually they've adapted it. So the big question is for me, how can the SEA teams sort of adapt the LMS play style too, since they've been like that for quite a while, and it's so fun to watch. But at the same time, with LMS knows what's up already, it's gonna be definitely harder come summer.
Yeah, one thing that I really liked about watching Southeast Asian League games is just it's so chaotic. It's
It
crazy. It's not
is.
like watching like Koreans or like the LMS from last year. They were more objective based and they would fight around the objective. But
Yes.
Southeast Asia is like they're invading, they're trying to
Yeah.
get pick here and there, or
Yeah.
there's just constant ganks. And that's what makes the games fun rather than
Exactly.
watching Korean games, even though it's good, it's fast paced, but it's always very like you can tell what's gonna happen.
No one's like, people are in the dragon and no one dies. Like they would start the fight, but no one actually dies.
Yeah, they're
Like,
just very
it's that
safe
sort of thing.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 kill, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's not like I think our style is kind of like following North America style a little bit more, and North America is also very messy.
Messy.
It's fun games. It's just
It
how
is
it
fun.
is.
Yeah, I really like watching that sort of play style too.
Right. So this season we saw Berjaya Dragons. They made a debut and they got pretty far. I think it was like 4th place. So
4th place. Unfortunately, around 4th place. Yeah, I think they were at the beginning of the playoffs bracket. But it was in the end, it was most of the LMS squads being the only ones left.
but I was surprised because I kind of didn't have faith in Malaysia's team. Me coming from Malaysia, I think I've seen the scene for a while, and I was just like, probably not. But they did pretty well. I was kind of rooting for Philippines because Philippines have been known for like they're quite brutal when it comes to LOL. So
Yeah.
for what they're called again? I forgot their name.
Liab, yeah.
Liab, yeah. So
Liab.
what's the biggest difference right now? So we have Liab, we have Vijaya Dragons. Like, what kind of like contributed to Vijaya's up to 4th place, and why did they lose, you think?
I think Berjaya Dragons, considering that I think most of their roster consists of players from the either ECS or LMS. I think the reason why is that they could really match what the LMS, the LMS playstyle. They've got Kaname and Chile down at bot. So those are like the Malaysian representatives player-wise. But at the end of the day, yeah, they did really get far. They've really surpassed a lot of expectations of the broadcast talent. It was really nice to see. Thailand also managed to get further.
Thailand's always been performing when it comes to League of Legends, though. I mean, that's not a surprise.
Truly. Yeah. They've been the kings of the either LST or the GPL for quite some time. So it's gonna be a challenge for them for sure. Because PCS with the addition of the elements.
Right. So, what do you think is the state of League of Legends in Southeast Asia right now?
That's a good question, actually. The state in what sense? Like game-wise, or
in
like
terms of like
community?
the community? Yes, community.
Oh. Honestly speaking, community-wise, it's pretty much alive. Like that's why I absolutely love League, because even though there's like right now, especially with the situation in the world, there's not a lot of like tournaments going around, there's not a lot of LANs going around, but they're all very supportive when it comes to the Philippine team. Like, Liab is playing, let's go, full 100% support. And I think that's a good part. And because of Wild Rift coming up soon, I see the League of Legends community being extra active.
Oh, you think it's gonna be divided into two? Like, most people will be leaving League PC for Wild Rift, you think?
I think it's still like an ecosystem. Like, for example, if I'm outside, then I'll play on my phone. If I'm at home, then I'll play on my PC. I think that's how it's going to work. But I feel like the first month on release will be super hype. So I'm guessing they'll play a lot of Wild Rift first.
So speaking of that, were you invited for the alpha testing?
Yes, I was invited.
I'm so
jealous. And I was also part of the alpha briefing that happened last week. So we got to talk to like the lead designers, the marketing people. So it was absolutely such an honor to be invited by Riot to do that.
What do you think of the game so far, or of the alpha at least?
I've only managed to play it once, which was during the League 10 anniversary. And it was amazing because it felt like I didn't need to adjust, because the way that the skills worked in PC, I used Orianna. The way that the skills worked on PC really transitioned well to mobile. So again, I didn't really had a hard time.
Right. So speaking of that, when you talk about hard time, there are some champions that would be different. Like say Annie, she's more skill shot, and Vayne. So would you think people would be kind of confused about that? Especially look at the Ashe arrow, like her ult. You can like move it around.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be that confusing, considering that the controls is very fluid, if you will. I think for me, the only thing that really instantly came into my mind is that Riot really wanted to avoid the easy point and click sort of mechanics, just to, because I feel like if they're point and click, then of course it's going to be high tier, because it's easy to land skill shots, it's easy to land with the controls, especially as the thumb grip. So it's really wise for Riot to just make changes to make everything pretty much balanced.
So how hard is it to land a skill shot in that game?
How hard is it to land? Honestly speaking, I don't have as much experience just yet, because I played Orianna, so there's not a lot of skill shots going on. So I got to put the shield and put the dissonance, and that's basically it. I assume it will be hard. For mobile gamers that have played many titles already, it's not going to be hard for them. But for people who have played PC for a long time, I'm sure it's going to take an adjustment for sure.
Guess I'm going to struggle.
You're good.
You don't really play mobile titles. Adrian has been trying to get me to play with him for a long time, and I'm just like, later. Yeah. Look at his face, he's so serious.
You can start now, so you get practice, and then when you go Wild Rift, it's like, easy.
Yeah, exactly. That's my plan actually. Yeah.
Oh God, here he goes. He's excited. He's prepped. You look how serious his face is.
No,
Time
but,
to-
but serious question though. Like with Wild Rift coming out, how much do you think this will affect the mobile community? Do you think there'll be a shift in a pivot in the way how how the popularity of the League of Legends IP would affect mobile MOBAs?
Whew, it's like I'm gonna turn off my bias a little bit. I feel like it's really going to be such a huge game changer, considering that a lot of the existing mobile community people are just insanely interested with Wild Rift. And of course, you bring in the PC players who are, I assume some of the PC players haven't really touched anything mobile at all, because okay, I'm fine, I'm gonna stick with my Dota, I'm gonna stick with my League, but at the same time, being a League IP will definitely pour more into the existing mobile player pool. So that's the reason why I think it's such a big thing. It could really swing the industry of the mobile gaming community.
Yeah, I think so. I think one more thing as well is because people from League will be playing this because it's characters they know.
Yeah.
And the League of Legends lore has been insanely good. And they're actually not only just building it like that, they have a movie coming out soon and all that kind of stuff. So, it's
The
hard.
comics, yeah.
Yes. And the comics are actually done by the people from Marvel as well.
Exactly.
So, it's like it's hard to not love the game, especially if it comes to mobile. You can play like anytime.
Yeah. So like the people who go like, it's mobile, like I don't really care. They, these people will care now because it's
Yes.
Wild Rift.
It's
Yeah.
the IP.
Exactly.
It's like you just like the brand.
Exactly.
Okay, so now that you're a caster, you've done everything. Are you gonna add Wild Rift into your list?
Hell yes. Of course, I would definitely love to cast Wild Rift, because again, that's where I started. That's how I became a caster, and I mean for League of Legends, and of course it's Wild Rift. Like, yeah, sign me up.
So how hard do you think it's gonna be for you to learn this one compared to League?
I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's like, at least for me, I think it's going to be an adjustment for sure. Like game times are going to be different. The developers, the designers mentioned that they're going to retain laning phase, grouping phase. So at least that's still there with that. We're very familiar with that. I think the big difference is like how the meta is going to shape eventually, because when we look at the mobile MOBAs, it's just so active. Like they roam as threes, they roam as like they steal camps, they just practically go everywhere. So I'm excited if that's going to be the same case for Wild Rift, or more strategies are going to be born combining mobile, the usual MOBAs in mobile, and League PC.
Awesome. So, Valorant just came out. Will we be seeing you casting that?
It's it's one of those things like, I wish, I wish kind of deals. I wasn't able to play Valorant back in beta. I didn't get to win a key, but I started yesterday. It was really, really fun. I feel like it's going to be a different adjustment because it's like what they mentioned, it's like CSGO, but air quote Overwatch, because it has ability. So that's going to be another different adjustment. And I feel like it's much harder to learn as a caster, at least for me, who came from MOBAs.
Exactly. And the game is actually a lot faster paced as well. So pacing will also be another thing for you, wouldn't it?
Pacing. I'm like, my brain just really did a whoopsie there. Okay, pacing. Yeah, the pacing is going to be different. It's not like 1 hour game where the build up from early game just goes throughout late game. It's condensed condensed in like different rounds. So there's different resets every single time because of the rounds. But I think it's still pretty fun. I feel like it's still going to be pretty fun to cast.
I really need to get in on that game. Oh no. Oh, she's back. Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I got
It scared me.
Okay.
I thought Adrian lagged. Oh my
It's
god.
not moving.
Exactly.
I thought it was an awkward silence. I'm like, who talks first?
Oh my god. Okay, so speaking of Valorant, I know that Asurai has been actively playing that like crazy, and he's been like a really high rank as well. So and I know you and him sort of got a thing going on.
Yes, for like a while, for years.
I just found out recently because I saw the hashtag Rikurai just flowing around, and I'm like, wait, is this true? Because I did see you with Asurai during GEXT in 2018. So I was like, were y'all already dating back then? Why did I not know
Yes,
this?
yes.
I did see one of your viewers comment on the photo I posted of us three taking a photo, and they were like saying like it should be a double date if say Ralph did come, right? But he wasn't there. So I was just like, why did it not click to me?
You're so funny. It's alright. It's okay, because we're not exactly super obvious when we're in LAN, because it's like work mode, like, you know, like focus on the work, focus on the cast first kind of thing, and it is quite understandable. And I think it's a running gag in stream that we only say like we're really close friends on the stream. It's been a gag for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years now.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's still fun to do. It's still fun to do on stream, honestly.
Okay, so you've been casting with him for a long time. You
Yeah.
did cast with him at PGF as well. God, when did I see that? So how's the dynamics casting with him, knowing that he's your boyfriend?
I think the best part is we're insanely comfortable with each other. We get to like, okay, I don't like what you did. Like, oh, that was great. Like, we can openly praise and criticize each other. I think that is the best part. And he's like the shoutcaster guy that shouts a lot, and I'm the more color caster. So I think it's a really nice, like, interesting dynamic for me.
I love it. Match made in heaven, match made in real life, match made for casting.
Yeah.
Package deal.
I
You
know.
need hey Adrian, do you need any casters? Kind of have a couple caster.
Sure. Yeah.
Get a
Sure.
pair.
I can, yeah.
He's just like, what's happening?
What?
What's going on?
Okay, I'll let you have the next question, Adrian. I'm sorry.
Before we wrap things up, Riku, anything you want to say to your fans? And do you have any advice at all to people who want to break into the casting world?
I guess my first message would be I'm incredibly grateful for all the support that they've given me, considering that, you know, I casted League for I think 1 or 2 years, and then suddenly I shifted to different games. Now I'm back to League, and they're like all 100% supportive. I guess for my advice when it comes to casting is that watch all different esports just to see what kind of tone that you like, what kind of approach you like to be in the when it comes to finding your voice in casting. Do you want to be a color? Do you want to be an excited color? Do you want to be the air quote scholar color, if you will? But yeah, there are so many different styles, and I think it's really important to find your voice first, and then you can probably work your way from there. And I think some of the streamers also do like caster reviews and stuff. I'm not sure if some of the casters do it now, but just follow all the casters because sometimes they do announce those kinds of activities.
Yay, and that's it, guys.
Yay!
That's Riku. You got 3 because she's so awesome. Thank you so much for being here today at IGN House Call. Man, this was like actually one of my funnest interviews.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, guys, that's all from us. And so keep it locked at IGN. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.